What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards here for the Sunday morning weekly update, review, whatever we call this thing. The week that was, talking a couple news bits, and then, looking at what's moving and shaking in the wonderful world of the sports card market slash hashtag the hobby slash whatever we call this roller coaster. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, market movers links, eBay affiliate links, all that jazz. Let's dive in. So this came out this week. StarStock, who I enjoy as a platform. I buy and sell on StarStock probably more than anywhere else at this point. At least for like flip stuff. I do most of that on StarStock. If I get physical, and I've sent quite a few physical cards home. I sent that Trey Young out of 249 home. I have a pink Vlad Refractor on the way home right now. I've sent some other stuff home. The Otani pink, a lot of stuff. I use StarStock a lot, especially for graded stuff. It's really nice. They came out this week and announced that they are going to begin doing breaks. So they have a whole thing you could purchase into their breaks. They have a few up, and they've got some pretty random stuff, like some 17-18 Prism, 18-19 Prism, some National Treasures. Like, they're not messing around. I'm not anti-breaking. You just have to know what you're getting into. I don't join breaks. I usually don't advise people to join breaks if they are looking at cards from an investment standpoint. Breaking is not what you want to do. Really, you don't even want to be ripping wax on your own, let alone buying into a break in the grand scheme of things. I mentioned this yesterday on the X-Men live stream. Someone had asked me, hey, how come you're ripping these X-Men boxes, these X-Men metal boxes, when you could just put the set together a lot cheaper? And my answer to that question is because I like to feel like a kid sometimes. And that reminded me of when I was a kid ripping packs and putting sets together. And if that's what you know that you're getting into going into it, that's fine. And same with breaks. If you want to buy into a break and have some fun on a Friday night, perfectly fine. But it's gambling. You're not sports card investing in general, any investing is technically gambling, but this is even more so to an extreme. It's not like they're scamming you or anything crazy like that. It's just, I personally, it's not for me, but you do you, as long as you understand what you're getting into. But I've talked to plenty of people that have got in a little over their heads doing breaks, and it wasn't what they expected and ended up losing a bunch of money and that sort of stuff. So as long as you know yourself and can set some limits, you do you. StarStock getting into it is intriguing. The rookies, they will immediately load into your StarStock account if you so choose within 48 hours. And any non-rookies, they will send home to you within 48 hours, which is also interesting. So where does this go sideways? I'm going to wait until we get a little more information on this, but this has me going, So what are the different break formats, you might ask? And they run through pretty much all the common ones: random teams, divisions, tiered, hit drafts, whatever. And then you get down to this one. What is this right here? Slab packs. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Slab packs. Random slabs / sealed wax / site credit will be randomly inserted into air quotes packs. Users will be able to buy a random pack in which they can chase rare or desirable graded cards. Come on, StarStock. You guys are better than this. Seriously? Seriously. You're going to put out a repack product. Really? That was a dramatic pause. Really? A repack product? Come on, guys. You're better than this. You are better than this. Maybe no one buys into these things. I sure as hell hope people don't. Do not buy repack products. I don't care if I Pull Heat 76 on eBay has, the sickest repack product in the world with no checklist that they've sold 99 of, and they have perfect eBay feedback, and you can have a 3.9% chance at a Lucas Silver Prism PSA 10, but you really don't because they never actually put it into the packs. Or if it's a legitimate company like Star Stock doing it, do not buy repack products. But I am a parent looking at a disappointed child right now. Really, Star Stock slab packs. Come on. Dramatic pause again. Gee, I mean, I was scrolling through that. I didn't really. I saw they announced breaks. I was excited. Not excited about that. I just thought it was cool. It's like, once again, it's not for me. I look at this, and a lot of people are like, "Why are they doing this?" One, it's probably profitable. Two, they're probably viewing it as a way to get new users onto the site. If they become a go-to source for breaking, I'm not saying that they will, but in their eyes on a whiteboard somewhere, I'm sure under pros for this, it says, acquisition of new customers or something like that. But a repack product, I am so freaking disappointed in you, Star Stock, that you're going to roll out a repack product because people will buy it. You know that they will. And I don't know. You're really going to have to impress me with whatever you put on the market for that thing. Because reading that description, not cool. Not like I'm going to stop using the site or anything crazy like that, but very disappointed in you guys. Slab packs. Seriously? All right, let's move off this. But yeah, Star Stock does breaks now, and whatever the hell this thing is. Not a fan of this. Not a fan of this at all. Big red X. It's what's the hell was that guy's name? I'm showing my age here. When we were kids in school, and they would put the green Mr. Yuck. Was it Mr. Yuck? The green Mr. Yuck stickers over stuff because they were poisonous for you not to drink it as a small child. That's what I would put over that section of that announcement. Very disappointing, Star Stock. Let's get into some charts and graphs and move off that. I should note, we are a little over 4 weeks away from the National. Ryan on the Card Talk pod mentioned the other day about, what basically every day their shop mantra is, what have we done to get ready for the National? I'm not necessarily doing that every day, but I'm definitely starting to look around going like, do I have everything that I need? I picked up some more memory cards on Amazon Prime Week. I bought a new laptop last week or 2 weeks ago. So I'll be able to edit and upload video from there. I've been having conversations with other content creators. It's coming, and it's coming fast. I do not have like any meetup plans or meet and greet plans or anything like that. I'm going to wait until I get there, boots on the ground, and just kind of play it by ear. I am planning on, depending on where it's at, Ryan from Card Collector 2 is supposed to be putting on a trade night at the National. I will definitely be attending that. Beyond that, I have no freaking idea what I'm going to get myself into. So, speaking of trade nights, I am 85% sure I will be at Card Collector 2 trade night again this coming Friday, July 2nd. Ryan is running that back again down at Card Collector 2. It is Friday from like 5 to 11. So I will definitely be hitting that up. Or I shouldn't say definitely, but most likely be hitting that up. The first one was a blast. Had a ton of fun at Ryan's trade night. So heading back down for that. And for Northeast Ohio news, sticking in that realm for a quick second before we dive into charts and graphs, Rated Rips, who I did the video on their show a couple months ago, is running their show back in August. So that'll be post-National. I think it's 2 or 3 weeks after the National. Their first show was really good. It was like 70, 80 tables, brought in a lot of outside vendors. Was a good time. A lot of good inventory at that show. So I'm excited for that one. So if you're within, that'll be in Canton, Ohio. It's right in Belden Village at the Holiday Inn. So if you're within a few hours driving distance, it's a pretty good show. At least I thought it was the first time around. So I will be excited to check that out. That'll be an interesting vibe because that will be post-National. So, but my mindset is very much National oriented now that we've gotten through, I'm less than a month away. I've gotten through X-Men Metal nonsense. And yeah, so chart and graph time, everyone's favorite. Gonna touch on baseball and basketball mostly, with a quick touch on football from a broader sense. A lot of stuff going on in baseball. Yordan Alvarez was one of the bigger movers of the week. His stuff just got ridiculously too cheap, and he's been hitting the cover off the ball. This is his refractor and his pink refractor, both over the last 7 days. I'm sorry, 14 days. I did 14 days on this graph. Went back a little bit further. Over the last 14 days, up 43% and 30% on his pink and base refractor. These got sub $100. It's kind of surprising. I know he gets the whole he's a DH only thing thrown against him. And he's an Astro, so he gets that kind of thrown against him. But I've always liked Yordan Alvarez. I always thought he was pretty underrated. I have at least one pink refractor, maybe two at PSA right now with Card Collector 2. I'm hoping to have that back before the National. I don't know if I will or not. But yeah, Yordan on the move this week. Oh, let's talk Wander Franco. Let me get these in the right order here. Old Wander got the call up this week. I made that video on it. And people did like, no, I shouldn't say, not everyone. A subset of people did not like that I said you should be selling Wander Franco because you could probably buy his stuff back cheaper later in the season. I think people forget that once again, we've covered this before in previous videos. They let you buy these cards back. You could sell them and buy them back. They let you do that. So Wander came up. I pulled this back a little bit further. We went a 14-day view here again so we could kind of see the whole thing here. This is his base Bowman Chrome. Once again, not big on this card. Pop 9,000 and it spiked way up. You should probably be selling. It went from 215 up to 290 on the call up and then peaked at 330 with the home run in the first game. Now, he has majorly cooled off since. Obviously, I am not going to sit here and say like he's going to get sent back down to the minors or anything stupid like that. He could get just as hot this week as he was cold the last 3 days, and his prices will spike again in theory. But this is the risks that you take with young guys. I don't care what the scouts say. I don't care how high his hit tool is. This stuff just happens sometimes. And he absolutely could be an all-star, next-level player, 100%. But odds are you are better off to sell these guys, especially the prospects, the second they are called up. Move off of them, move on to the next thing. Everyone always says, this guy's the one that's different. You shouldn't do that. I will play the math game here and lean on selling regardless of who the player is. If I need to buy the player back later, I will buy the player back later with the profits I made from selling all the other idiots that washed out. So, because odds are most of these guys do not make it. So, Wander's starting to creep back down again. His base Bowman Chrome is down to 290. His paper was all the way down to $66. $66 sale, $100 sale. I think $100 is more realistic where this card was sitting right around 100. It spiked all the way up to 176 and is currently at 160 right now. This one's actually low. The paper is actually a lower pop than the Chrome. Pop 5,000 compared to pop 9,000. But this one's still spiked up. We'll see what it does. I'll be very curious to see what this looks like in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Like by the time we get to the National, I'll be curious to see what his prospect cards look like. And then his Mega Box Mojo spiked up as well. This was down to $320 and is ending the 4-week or the 2-week period at $475. Pop 3,000 on this one. Mojos are really nice looking cards. I'm a big fan of these. I did not pull charts and graphs for this, and I don't know. Maybe he did something because I think he started playing baseball this week. Jason Dominguez's stuff spiked a little bit. Like I said, I don't know if he did something in short season or wherever they sent him to. I'm almost wondering if it's people just being like, oh man, look at what Wander's prices did. Dominguez prices are going to do that one day too. And they're starting to buy back up Jason Dominguez because the stuff got pretty cheap because people just kind of forgot about him. Not forgot about him, but you know what I mean? The spotlight's not on these guys. Their prices start to slide backwards. So I'm wondering how much of it is that versus him actually doing something. I just did not have time to look. Let's touch on football briefly. I kind of want to do something longer form football this week that looks back more at like a week or two worth of data. I kind of want to look at like the last 60 to 90 days. More like I think more so the last 60 days, kind of see what's going on. We are starting to see some life a little bit. Not everything. So I just have price movements by cards up. Football PSA 10 sorted by number of sales. Leading that race by a mile is Kyler Murray. His Prism Donruss base and his base Donruss PSA 10 and his base Prism PSA 10 are the top 2 cards on the week in regards to sales. Both are in the red. The Prism more so. But like I said, we are starting to see some things tick up ever so slightly. Burrow Prism base is up a little bit. Herbert Prism base is up. I'm going to continue to say that this card is drastically overpriced at $670, or anything really north of 600 to me is ridiculously overpriced. Even at 500, like look at Kyler Murray is $400 on his base Prism. Herbert is 600 plus. No, thank you. Hard pass. Daniel Jones creeping down a little bit. Josh Allen going up a little bit, but you're starting to see some green sprinkled in here instead of red. Deshaun Watson ticking back up again for some reason. No, thank you. Home stuff going up. This is his 2017 base optic, just barely moving, but this is back up to 1800. This touched 1500 for a hot minute. But once again, scrolling down, it's just nice seeing some green in these charts again. Instead of just blood red like when you look at the NBA. Sam Darnold's up, Russell Wilson's up, Carson Wentz stuff's up. Shout out Dakota from Sports Card Anonymous. That's probably him single-handedly moving that number on Carson Wentz. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my God, the football market, it's on fire. Look out, guys. But there does seem to be a little bit of movement there. Like I said, I want to do a long form football market video only looking at like 30, 60 days worth of data to see if we're actually seeing trend lines going up over a 30-day period. Sometimes when you just look at the week to week, I don't want to say you miss things, but like the small little like, oh, that went up 3%, no big deal. Well, if it's been going up 3% every week for the last 5 weeks, then that's a deal. Not a big deal, but it's a deal. So I want to do a little bit of a longer form one since we are basically at the 4th of July. And in my mind, 4th of July is always when my brain kicks over to football. That's when I start thinking about fantasy football, when I start looking at getting in this in best ball leagues, start scheduling drafts like that, for later in the summer. So 4th of July is always a good line of demarcation, at least for myself. And I'm going to use that here and kind of do a little deeper dive into football stuff. So let's hop over to basketball. And, just when you think the card market's gotten smart and, that people aren't going to overreact to stuff anymore, then Terrence Mann happens. Terrence Mann actually is a fun, nice, little talented player. But everybody relax a little bit here. His stuff went from a $6.35 raw Prism Silver up to $60 when he had his big game last week. It is currently back down to $29 and slowly trending back downwards. I get it. He looked really good. $60 for a Silver Prism Raw when it was a $6 card the day before. Come on, guys and girls. What are you doing? Listen, Terrence Mann's not bull. Terrence Mann actually has a decent upside to higher upside in the NBA. He could be a legitimate player. I don't think he's going to be a star. I could be wrong. It's probably, it's an outcome that could happen. I'm not going to put it as a high outcome, but it could happen. And, we keep hearing, oh, people are way smarter now. The market's not what it used to be. And then stuff like this happens, and I have faith that I will be able to continue to make money in the card market. When Terrence Mann goes up 10x in an hour, I know that I'm going to be just okay. Continuing to flip sports cards regardless of what the market does. So thank you. You have restored my faith in the ability to make money in this market with Terrence Mann going 6 or 10x in the course of a few minutes. This is an interesting one. Zion PSA 10 base Prism is sub $400. It is all the way down to $375. And what I was curious about was when was the last time one was that cheap? And it has finally happened, folks. He is back to pre-pandemic prices. I ran this chart back to January 1, 2020. And what do you know? Starting average, $375. Ending average, $375. And there is the journey that this card went on. And you can see we are right back to where we started. First comp on a PSA 10 Zion was January 22nd. Sorry, I ran the chart January 1st, but the first sale on Market Movers is on January 22nd. Sorry. And it actually dipped a little bit lower than that at one point in time. The bottom of this card was $300. Then it spiked. The card market spiked. See, a lot of people don't remember this. The card market was actually going crazy before the pandemic started. This is March 10th, $881 card. So it went from February 10th at $300 to March 10th, basically a month, to $880. So just remember that the card market was really heating up before COVID even started. The reason this nosedived was because the pandemic started. If you look at any card, especially medium to higher end stuff, they all nosedived in mid-March because people were scared. They didn't know what was going to happen. They wanted to move out of this stuff. They didn't want money tied up in cards because no one knew what the hell was going to happen. And then lo and behold, this happened. You know, the craziness of the card market happened. So that's another reason why I am still bullish on the market long term once we kind of reset everything and get back to semi-normal, was because the market was hot prior to the pandemic actually starting. The pandemic took it to an entirely different level. It like just took something that was already hot and just sent it to the moon. You know, it just blew it up completely to the next level. But I still have faith that the strength of the hobby and the market and whatever is going to be fine once it kind of resorts itself out after all the shenanigans of the last 18 months. But yeah, I just thought it was notable. Zion PSA 10 Prism prices are back to when the very first one sold on the market in mid-January of 2020. It is completely reset, which I just find interesting. I think I might look at a bunch of other cards. Once again, this will probably be a little bit of a longer form video I'll do separately. But look at maybe like Base Prism, Luca, stuff like that, and see how many of those cards have actually gone all the way back to pre-pandemic pricing. Because I'm a little curious on that. I think it's just an interesting milestone, footnote, whatever you want to call it. Last thing I want to talk about is some Trae Young stuff. Actually, I have one other thing I want to talk about. Some Trae Young stuff. PSA 10 Silver Prism. We talked about this on Friday, but his stuff continues to heat up. Up 35% over the last couple days. Let me zoom back out here a little bit. There we go. Up 35%, 1250 to 1690. So his Prism Silver on the move with that absolutely insane game 1. I know they got waxed in game 2. I'll be curious to see what game 3 is like. His base Prism is up 20% from 300 to 350. And then last but not least, talking about the Suns really quick, DeAndre Ayton. I should have mentioned this earlier. I usually like to note this. I am watching the Suns Clippers game on the other monitor as I record this. It is the middle of the third quarter. The game is basically tied. The Suns were way up, and the Clippers battled back. So I have the fourth quarter to watch, so I do not know what is going to happen in this game. But the first half of this game, DeAndre Ayton was beasting. And his cards have shot way up this week. $80 to $116, 44% change, up $36 on his base Prism Silver. And once again, I've said this a bunch. Him and Trae Young are the two players that have impressed me the most. I already liked Trae Young, but he has gone to an entirely different level in my mind. And DeAndre Ayton went from, he's a good center to, okay, he's legit. Like, the stuff that he is doing is really, really good. And he really completes and complements that Suns team extremely well. So we'll see what happens. I continue to write the Clippers off, and they continue to keep winning. So we will see what happens in tonight's game, how this finishes up. You people already know how this story ends. I do not yet. That's all I got for you guys and girls today. Smash like buttons, comments, subscribes, all that stuff. And we will catch you Monday. I'm going to recap all the stuff I pulled out of X-Men Metal. And then I don't know what. Oh, I do know what Tuesday's video is. That's a secret. Nothing crazy, but just a story time video on Tuesday. And then I don't know for Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah. Like, comment, sub, all the YouTube stuff down below. Market Movers links, eBay affiliate links. If you're going to go buy some stuff, consider using the link. Catch you guys and girls on the next one. Peace.